Hi, welcome to another episode of Selling in the Motor Trade. In partnership with Kazana, improve your margins with real-time, data-driven retail valuations backed by the largest raw data set in the UK. They're an evidence-based guide valuations for main dealers, car supermarkets, and independents, along with Simco training, where we talk about training in the real world, what's happening in the market today, not 10, 15 years ago. Together, we're going to share tips and ideas on how to sell more cars, improve your service and parts operation, and generally put more profit into your department, dealership, or dealer group. Now, I'm your host, Simon Bowkett, or some of you might already know me as Skippy. Firstly, I just want to say thank you for the people who dialed in right from the beginning of this, because we're past 250 episodes now and interviewed so many great leaders in the motor trade. Thank you for taking the time. For people who are new to this, please, I ask you to subscribe. You can't believe what it does to the algorithm and gets this podcast out to as many people in motor trade as we can.
Before we talk about tyres, guys, go back and have a look at Selling in the Motor Trade podcast. There's lots of different ideas about how to sell tyres. In fact, talk to us on our sales fitness program, and we'll talk about how to sell anything in your service department. We'll turn up and we'll put a program in your business over a day that I promise you'll sell tyres all day long. The first question is, do you really want to get into the tyre business? So I'm talking to dealer principals, investors, owners in the business, service managers. Do you want to get in the tyre business or not? Okay, because actually, how to do tyre sales is super easy from start to finish on putting on the vehicle health check there, the video of it, showing the measurements of it and why, all those things we can do. Talking about, don't just talk about percentages that you're doing, okay? Oh, real quick one for you. If you only learn one thing on the how here, are you still saying that at 2 millimeters, it's 94% worn out? At 3 millimeters, it's actually 78% worn out? Guys, it doesn't work for 3 millimeters. Change it around. At 3 millimeters, it's only 1.4 millimeters until that tire's illegal. That's equivalent to the thickness of an old credit card, because the bumps on a credit card are 0.4 of a millimeter. The card itself is 1 millimeter, okay? So actually, Mr. Customer, you only got the thickness of an old credit card, okay, until that tire is illegal. In fact, at 3 millimeters, you're doubling your braking distance on the wet road. In fact, it's 5 double-decker buses extra stopping distance on a dry road at motorway speed. Anyway, I'm going into how again, okay? Do you want to get into the tyre business? What margins do you have in tyres compared to selling brakes, air conditioning servicing, so much other stuff? Guys, the margin, it really isn't going to be as much. But I would urge you, don't just look at the margin. Have a look at the whole scenario, okay? Because you have to commit to the tyre business, okay? You have to be in it 100%. Otherwise, I promise you, if you put your toe in the water, it'll give you more grief, because what you won't have is impressed stock of tyres, okay? Your service advisor starts selling tyres. Then we're waiting on the 3 deliveries a day, which are, guys, never 3 deliveries a day. We can't get to you today. It'll be tomorrow. Then you got a customer has to come back, or they can't pick the car up today. And your service advisor knows they're going to have a net promoter score issue or a customer satisfaction index score, whatever it's called in your manufacturer issue. That's why we hear service advisors. That's why we hear service managers sometimes not really pushing a tire that they know is red, that they know is actually dangerous, but they know the grief they'll get from the workshop if a customer does say yes too late. So decide if you're in the tyre business or not. So let's have a look at that. What are the advantages of being in the tyre business? Okay. Well, I think the advantage is not just the profit you're going to make. It's stopping your customer going to the independent. You see, when the customer goes to the independents don't just do tyres. You go one of these national tyre retailers, a Quick Fit of the world there, they're brilliant in getting your customer onto their database and talk about all make servicing, MOTs, wipers need to be done, winter checks, battery checks, all that stuff. And I think it's the first point of defection is not just when the warranty runs out, it's absolutely tires because they weren't dealt with in the right way. So actually, even if I just broke even on tires, I'd probably do it in my business to stop the customers going to the independents to start with. Also, from a customer satisfaction point of view, as a customer, I don't want to have my car off the road with you as a franchise dealership for one day, then needing tires and then having to go and find one of the tire retailers, waiting around for them to fit a tire there. I'm busy. I haven't got time to do it. I don't want to take an extra day off work. Now, I know some people will do that to save 20 pence elsewhere. Okay. But actually, let's just offer it to every customer every time. Let's make sure we offer 100% of what's required to 100% of the customers 100% of the time and let the customer make the choice as opposed to us making the choice for them. So let's get into our business or not. So the other advantage of being in the tire business, I really do believe done the right way, it can be great for your customer satisfaction index scores. Do it the wrong way, it can have a detrimental effect. And it absolutely can have a detrimental effect. Here's why. I want to control the customer's fundamental need to shop around. This is how it's done in the poor way. We decide we want to get in the tire business. You haven't got any Impress stock there. Okay, I get why, because your brand, there's so many different tire sizes and all that. And you're going to get 3 deliveries a day, 2 deliveries a day, so you don't need them, right? But what happens is, okay, the service advisor gets the vehicle health check through. They get on the phone and say, hi, Mr. Customer, your tires actually got 3 millimeters on them, and we can do that for £270. Should we get Dave to do that for you? I'll get back to you. When the customer says they'll get back to you, guess what they're doing? They want to go and check with the local quick fit or whatever it is in your country. Okay, there's so many different national tire retailers there. They find a tire that's going to go in the car, not at 270, but it's at 100 and I don't know, 60. What's the customer now think of you? The cheeky buggers. They're just trying to rip me off there. What happens on every other recommendation do they think now? They think, oh, great. Okay, I know how much they try to rip me off on tires. So those brake discs, are they really the best price? Those brake pads, are they really the best price? But of course, we know exactly what the quick fits have done. Okay. Have they quoted for the same tire that's on it? Because so often we have. Okay. In fact, even if it's a Michelin, type in a registration number of one of your cars that you're servicing. Okay. And have a look at how many different Dunlop tires are there. For my car with Michelin, I think there was something like 7 or 8 different type of Michelin tires that would fit my car. And of course, the price range difference, even on Quick Fit, was all over the shop. So we want to control the customers shopping around. What I probably would do is something along the lines of carry out a complimentary health check. Again, set the agenda when the customer comes in. Okay, we're going to turn around and say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, whilst your vehicle's with us today, we're going to carry out a complimentary vehicle health check, which will look like this. Now, there's 3 different colors on it. If it's green, it means it's good to go. If it's amber, it's something that's going to require attention before your next scheduled service. Now, if it's red, it's something that requires immediate attention. It might even be an MOT or an NCT test failure if it's going for that. But what I'll do is I'll pop a call into you once the technician's had a chance to do that. I've got here that your phone number is finishing on 556. Is that the best number to get you on? From time to time, the technician might want to send you a video or something they want to draw your attention to. I've got here your email address is simon@walkerkilometer.com. Is that the best email address to get you on? Okay. Again, I know we don't need that email address to send a video, but it's a way to make sure we've got all the information. Also, I say from time to time, for fear we haven't done a video on that particular car on that particular day for whatever reason. Okay. But then our call might be something along the lines of, hello, is that Mr. Customer? Yeah, it's Simon calling from XYZ Motors. This is a call regarding your complimentary vehicle health check. Now, David, your technician, checked 33 points on the car. As you thought, most areas are green and good to go with the age of your vehicle. There's one area which is amber, nothing to worry about now, but we'll talk about that when you pick the car up, and they're the rear two tires, or the brake pads, or the discs, or whatever it is. However, he has identified the front two tires as red. Now, a tire's got 8 millimeters on it when it's brand new. You've worn it all the way down that you've only got 0.4 of a millimeter until that tire's illegal. Not 2 millimeters. Customers think they've got plenty to go. Or it's 94% worn out. Now, I've taken the liberty of getting a quote from Quick Fit for you. For the same tire that's on the car, the Dunlop, the Michelin, the Continental, blah, 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 fitted, balanced, and disposing of your old tire, they can actually do that for £220 a tire. Now, David can do that today for you. He's £5 a tire dearer at $225, but the great news is David could do that as part of your service today. It's not going to affect your pickup time of 4:30 this afternoon. Should I get David to get that tire fitted while the car's with us today? You see, the reason why we like to show them the quick fit price is we've tried to satisfy their fundamental need for comparison. Now, if you do that, print off the quick fit quote. If you're in the UK, quick, simple to do. All you do is put the registration number in and it spits out the prices. That's what your customer's doing. And Quick Fit does a great job of pretending to be cheaper. Okay? That print it off and show the customer when they pick the car up. That's what their price are. Oh, you might say, why did I say we're £5 a tire dearer or £8 a tire dearer? Because guess what? Depending on your deal that you have with your tire company, you might be. Okay? But also, you've got somewhere to go. If a customer says no, we might say, well, actually, only having 0.4 of a millimeter until that tire's illegal, it's actually 10 double-decker buses, extra stopping distance on a dry road at motorway speeds. Okay? It's actually, the government's made change the maximum fine to £2,500 per tire and 3 points in your license. Can I ask you, is it the cost of that tire or is it the time frame? Well, it's the cost. Then your service advisor's got somewhere to go. Well, listen, on this occasion, let me speak to my service manager. If we can match that quick fit price, shall we go ahead and do that? Okay. Or, well, listen, that's the same tire that's on the car. On this occasion, why don't I look at a lower cost alternative? Actually, we have an arrow here that we can actually do for 168. Listen, did you want to put the same tire that's on it at 225, or did you want to put the arrow on at 168? At least you got somewhere to go. When your service advisor, when your customer thinks you're expensive on tires, are you expensive because we're quoting the same tire that's on the car and you're up against some sort of chung lung ditch finder, okay, that Quick Fit's done, a Gitty tire, a triangle tire. If it's cheaper, so often it's cheaper for a reason. In fact, it might not have as much silica in it. Silica, not the rubber, okay, is more expensive, and the silica helps mold that tire to the road. That's why the premium tire is often more expensive, because it's actually got better gripping. It's got better stopping ability, better handling there. And so often it's the noise is a huge difference. Oh, by the way, how often? I'm talking to you service advisors now. You got a customer comes in because there's a whining noise from their car. You go and have a look at it, and they got 3 Continental tires on it and 1 Chung Lung ditch finder, okay, that they put on because it was nice and cheap at the time. That's causing the issue, isn't it? There's nothing else wrong with the car there. In fact, we actually say on the axle set, the front two or the rear two should be exactly the same tire. In fact, some manufacturers, you go look at Land Rover, it recommends on a four-wheel drive vehicle to replace all 4 tires at exactly the same time there, okay, to make sure you don't have some of those issues. Did you know that's actually a Land Rover recommendation? I don't know any customer that does that every single time, no matter what, but that's what they do recommend, okay? So anyway, I want to nip in the bud the customer's fundamental need for comparison to start with, okay? Now, also, if you want to get into the tire business, don't be waiting until your technician does the vehicle health check. Yes, I know we have issues all the time where they service the car first, and the last thing they do is the vehicle health check and then the video, and the sale happens far too late. Okay. Now, if you're a big business, okay, you've got that lovely Hunter tire measuring machine. When the customer drives the car in, it rolls over there and gives a printout on exactly where the tires are and the tracking, so you can sell full wheel alignment there and then. But actually, is it worth if you want to get in the tire business? Get in the apprentice, checking every tire that's in there, get it all done by 9:30 in the morning, and let the customers know exactly where they're up to straight away. In fact, if you're listening to this in America, go back and listen to some podcasts. There's so many people I've spoke to who work in service departments in America, and their system is a service advisor will walk out to the customer's car every single time with the customer when they drop the car off with their tire gauge there and then, and they'll tell the customer and show the customer. Don't wait for a technician to do it. If you want to get in the tire business, okay, get the service advisor to do that every time so the customer can see exactly the situation the tires are in and say, hey, listen, I'll give you a call and find out what we can do with the tires. Okay, we're very competitive compared to Quick Fit all the time there. Ask the customer there and then, would you want the same tire that's actually on the car? That's what we would recommend. Okay. Or if you know you got a price objection there, give the customer two options straight away there. But you got to decide, do you want to get into the tire business or not? If you want to get in the tire business, I don't think it's because of the profit you're going to make out of the tires there. I actually do think it's worth doing it for customer satisfaction. I think it's worth doing it to stop people going to the independents there and looking after a customer from start to finish. Guys, you can probably see which way I'm leaning to, but I'd urge you to get into the tire business. Okay, I really would every single time. I'd urge you to get Impress stock. If you know exactly what stock you need, okay, you can put it on there and then. If not, if you can't do that where you are, okay, you're in the deepest, darkest Wales and there's only one delivery a day and they only come in tomorrow there, okay? What you've got to do is decide to get in the business or not and get the cars checked straight away. Get your service advisor, go out and have a look at it straight away. Get the apprentice to go and do it. Get your technicians to do the vehicle health check as soon as it gets on the ramp straight away. Try and get the upsell call when it's there, okay? Text, do they like tires? No, they hate the tires there and they want to almost avoid that. Have a look at how you're incentivized for the technicians to look at work, your service advisors, and not just to, give up too easily. Now, if you decided you're in the tire business, commit to it, get in the tire business or not, that's your business choice. But if not, actually don't try and half-ass it because that's when you're going to get caught out. That's where you're going to have problems with the customers and your technicians because you're trying to do it 3:30. We're trying to get the car back in. We haven't got that tire in stock. You have to get it from somewhere else. And the pain it causes, that's why you're half in the tire business. And your service advisor, your technicians, your service manager is saying, hey, listen, it needs to be done. Okay, just go and get it done somewhere else. It's so much easier there. They're almost actively sometimes sending people elsewhere because you're half in the tire business. Guys, if you want to know how to then sell tires, hey, listen, go back and have a look at this podcast, some of the back ones. Go and speak to us about our sales fitness program, Today's Service Advisor. We go from start to finish on how to actually sell tires there. Come and talk to us. We'll come into business and we'll get that tire from start to finish working, from start to finish. I promise you, you'll sell a hell of a lot of tires there. Okay. But firstly, decide if you're in tire business or not. That just leaves me to say that all details of this episode and other episodes on the selling in the motor trade can be found on our website, simcotraining.co.uk. Go there to get a copy of our book, Words That Sell Cars. Go there to sign up to a free trial of our Sales Fitness online sales training program. Easiest way to get hold of me is Simon Bowkett through LinkedIn. Thank you.